If you thought you can't enjoy the desserts you love during the holiday season, you're wrong. This pumpkin pie has macros and calories that are so good, you can eat this instead of eating protein bars. It's so low in calories, it's mostly made out of protein, and there's one secret ingredient that is a game changer that's gonna make this taste so good and make the macros and calories of this perfect. Sweetener, are you buying powdered sweetener? If you are, listen to me, you fool. Do not buy that stuff. It's expensive for no reason. Erythritol, it is my favorite sweetener because it bakes and crystallizes like sugar. But I don't want crystals, I want it powdered. Blender, 24 grams. You see how the texture is just like sugar? It's crystallized. That's what I want. Blend. And this was way cheaper than buying pre-bought powdered sugar at the store. This right here is sugar, and this is erythritol. The sugar is grainy and it's crystally. You could feel it in your fingers. Erythritol is the exact same way. You could feel each crystal in your fingers. So when you're baking with these, this has the same type of texture as sugar does. Stevia does not have this. Stevia is completely different than this. Stevia is like 200 times sweeter than sugar. So companies that make the big bags of baking stevia blends, they use a little bit of stevia and a ton of other carbohydrate powders to get the same volume, except it weighs way, way, way less than sugar and erythritol does. So if I say a recipe has 40 grams of erythritol or 40 grams of sugar in it, and then you use 40 grams of stevia, you're gonna be using triple the amount of volume of powder that I would be using, which is gonna completely mess up your recipe. So don't do that. Instead, get some erythritol or get some sort of sweetener that's crystallized and looks and feels like sugar. And then protein powder. We need equal amounts of whey and casein. 25 grams of whey and then 25 grams of casein. I recommend you use the good tasting vanilla flavored protein powder. This one's my favorite, French Vanilla by Legion. Check them out, use code Rahul. And if you don't like it, they'll just give you your money back. The secret ingredient we're gonna add in a little bit, it doesn't taste very good on its own and it's not sweet. So 2 packets of sweetener. We wanna make this very sweet right now. A fat pinch of salt to bring out all the flavors, and then a teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice. 15 Spanks. It's got cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, allspice, cloves, so if you don't have this, you could just use those spices or just use cinnamon. And the last dry ingredient we need is some sugar-free vanilla pudding mix. You can use cheesecake flavor if you want to, I couldn't find it. Mix all the dry ingredients together. And the secret ingredient that's gonna make this rich, it's gonna make it creamy, it's gonna make it so tasty and a little bit cheesecakey. I hate this stuff on its own, cottage cheese. We need 2%, okay? Please do not get fat-free because then you won't like this recipe because fat-free cottage cheese tastes like plastic. And then you're gonna get mad at me. And I'm not gonna accept blame. The macros on this are crazy. 200 calories, 28 grams of protein, except it's lumpy, it's clumpy, and I don't like it. So we're gonna make it creamy. Please get 2% cottage cheese, not fat-free, please. Use the same blender. There's no need to wash this. And take this and let's blend it and make it creamy. I'm not a picky eater, but this sucks. No freaking lumps. I'm gonna stop it and shake it up just to make sure if there's lumps at the top. It's going to the bottom because I swear if I get a lump, I will. Look, creamy. That's creamy. We need pumpkin. Pumpkin. Just pumpkin, not pumpkin pie filling. It should have 45 to 60 calories per half cup. And the only ingredient should be pumpkin. If you get pumpkin pie filling and then you make the recipe and you complain, oh my God, the calories and macros are so high. It's because you got pumpkin pie filling. Get just pumpkin. This stuff is so low calorie. It's a cheat code in baking and in recipes because it keeps things so freaking moist. An equal amount of pumpkin as cottage cheese, 250 grams. Use the thick stuff. If you have watery pumpkin pie or pumpkin, it's bad. Not pumpkin pie. I made a mistake talking. Don't get pumpkin pie filling. A bunch of vanilla extract. Look, just pop a hole in the foil with a push pin and you could just squeeze like this. And then we need eggs. You could either use 4 egg whites or 2 egg whites and a whole egg. I'm gonna use 2 egg whites and a whole egg because people get mad at me when I waste the yolk. So I'm only gonna waste 2 yolks instead of 4. You're welcome. It's hard being this nice. I've learned a new way to crack eggs. See? You just throw it in and then look at that. Wasn't that perfect? No shell. Oh, ooh, 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 ooh. See, look, literally no shells ever get in when you crack it like that. Now I gotta fish out the yolks. There's one, get the other one. And I'm really not wasting them because my garbage disposal is hungry. I need to feed it. And blend all this until everything is smooth and creamy and combined. And look how creamy that filling is. Don't add all of it, add most of it, but leave a third in the blender and take all your dry ingredients, toss them in. The more liquid there is, the harder it is to mix the dry and the wet. So add 2/3 of the liquid, mix it all, and then we can add the other third. This is literally just to help with whisking. Mix really freaking well. We do not want any clumps of powder. Get it all out. Now we can add the rest. And keep mixing. Scrape down the sides just to make sure there's no powder stuck anywhere, and look how smooth and creamy that is. That's perfect. Tell me how I go through 15 of these at the store and every single one is cracked. And we fill 350 degrees. Legion is having a Black Friday sale for all of November. It starts now. Everything on the website is buy one, get one 50% off. Check out my link in the description and use code Rahul. And after 40 minutes of baking, it is done. The crust is coming off because it rose a little bit. Let this rest for at least 30 minutes, then we have to refrigerate it. I left this in the fridge to cool for 5 hours. Let's cut it. The first slice is always the hardest to pick up. Wish me luck. Oh, my forks are in the dishwasher. Let's knife this. It worked, kind of. Oh, it worked. That's okay. No, no. Stick, stick, stay. There we go. A little bit of whipped cream. I don't know how to. A little bit of extra pumpkin pie spice. Each slice is 80 calories and 11 grams of protein without the crust. If you add the crust, it adds 100 calories per slice, 180 calories, 11 grams of protein. So either way, it's really macro friendly, but if you make it crustless, it's insane. The calories are way better than the protein bar, 160 calories and 22 grams of protein for 2 slices. That's a quarter of the entire pumpkin pie. Check out my cookbook, link in the description. It has over 100 recipes and I'm constantly updating it, so when you buy it once, you get all future updates for free. I just added these McDonald's apple pies recipe in the book. You can meal prep them and they're insanely low calorie. Did you see how creamy that was? That's crazy. It is so rich, it is so creamy, it's insane. The whipped cream, so good. And that crust is so good. It's up to you if you want to add the crust or not, but you need to make this pumpkin pie. It's perfect for the holiday season.